You wake up feeling fine. You had a normal dinner the night before, maybe some soup, a sandwich, something quick from the freezer. Nothing unusual, but at your next doctor's visit, your blood pressure is creeping up again, and you can't quite figure out why. Sound familiar? If you're over 60 and wondering why your blood pressure keeps creeping up, even though your meals seem fairly normal, you're certainly not alone. Many people over 60 believe they are eating fairly healthy, and yet their blood pressure slowly keeps rising. Today, let's take a gentle look at 5 very common foods that may be quietly contributing to that. And more importantly, a few simple things you can do instead. Nothing drastic, just small adjustments that can make a real difference over time. First, let's take just a moment to understand why this matters a little more after 60. As we get older, our blood vessels naturally become a little stiffer. That is completely normal, but it also means our bodies become more sensitive to sodium, the main mineral in salt. The American Heart Association explains that excess sodium causes the body to retain water. That extra fluid puts more pressure on the walls of your blood vessels. The result? Higher blood pressure. And according to the CDC, nearly 70% of adults over 65 in the United States have high blood pressure, also called hypertension. That the statistic is not meant to alarm you. It simply explains why the foods we eat every day can have a bigger effect on our bodies now than they did years ago. The encouraging part? Even small changes in diet can make a meaningful difference. So let's take a look at 5 foods that often surprise people. Food number 1, processed deli meats. Think about the cold cuts at your local grocery store. Turkey, ham, salami, bologna. They are convenient. They are familiar. Many of us have eaten them for decades. But here is something most people don't realize. A single 2-ounce serving of deli turkey can contain anywhere from 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than about 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day for adults with high blood pressure. That means just one sandwich could use up nearly half of your daily sodium allowance. The Mayo Clinic explains that processed meats are preserved with salt and often additional sodium-based additives to extend their shelf life. Over time, regular consumption can contribute to elevated blood pressure. A simple alternative? Try roasting a plain chicken breast or turkey breast at home. Slice it thin and use it in place of deli meat during the week. Many people in their 60s and 70s find this easier than they expected. No hidden sodium, and honestly, many people find it tastes better too. Food number 2, canned soups. Soup feels comforting, warm, easy to prepare, and often associated with taking care of yourself. But many canned soups are among the highest sodium foods in the entire grocery store. A single can of a popular condensed chicken noodle soup can contain more than 1,700 milligrams of sodium. That is more than an entire day's recommended amount for someone managing high blood pressure. Harvard Health Publishing has pointed out that reducing sodium intake is one of the most effective dietary steps for improving blood pressure, and processed soups are a surprisingly large source. The good news is that food manufacturers have started offering better options. Many brands now offer low sodium or no salt added versions. Look for those labels. Or if you enjoy cooking a little, a very simple homemade soup can be surprisingly easy. A broth, some vegetables, maybe beans or a little pasta. You control the ingredients, and that makes all the difference. Food. Number 3, Certain packaged breakfast cereals. This one surprises many people. Breakfast cereal often looks very healthy. Boxes may say things like Heart Smart or whole grain, and some cereals are good choices, but many popular cereals, especially sweetened ones or flavored instant oatmeal packets, contain more sodium than most people expect. Some cereals contain 200 to 300 milligrams of sodium per serving, and most of us pour more than one serving. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute encourages people to read nutrition labels carefully because sodium can hide in foods that don't even taste salty. Cereals are a perfect example of that. A better option? Plain rolled oats, not the flavored packets. Add a little cinnamon and some fresh fruit, naturally low in sodium. And research from institutions like Harvard has linked whole oats with modest improvements in blood pressure. Food number 4, restaurant sauces and condiments. This one is less about cooking at home and more about what happens when we eat out, or when we reach for that bottle in the refrigerator. Soy sauce, ketchup, bottled salad dressings, steak sauce, teriyaki sauce. These condiments are often extremely high in sodium. Just 1 tablespoon of regular soy sauce contains around 900 milligrams of sodium. And when restaurants prepare your food, they may use large amounts of these sauces in ways you cannot easily see. The Cleveland Clinic has highlighted condiments and sauces as one of the most overlooked sources of sodium in the American diet. A simple adjustment? Season your food with herbs and spices at home. Garlic, black pepper, lemon juice, fresh herbs. They add flavor without adding sodium. And when eating out, it is perfectly reasonable to ask for sauces on the side or request less salt. Most restaurants are happy to help. Food number 5, highly processed frozen meals. Frozen meals have become extremely convenient, and for many older adults living alone, they offer a quick and easy dinner. But most standard frozen meals contain between 700 and 1,500 milligrams of sodium per serving, sometimes even more. The DASH diet, Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, was developed specifically to help manage blood pressure through diet. It is backed by research from the NIH and widely recommended by doctors. The DASH approach focuses on vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins. Many heavily processed frozen meals do not fit very well into that pattern. A realistic alternative? On a day when you have a little extra energy, cook a slightly larger batch of something simple. Baked chicken, roasted vegetables, a pot of beans, portion it out, and freeze it yourself. Your own homemade frozen meals without the hidden sodium. A few gentle tips moving forward. You don't need to change everything overnight. In fact, that rarely works. Instead, try something simpler. Pick just one food from today's list that you eat fairly often and experiment with a lower sodium alternative this week. That alone can be a meaningful step. Another helpful habit is simply reading food labels with fresh eyes. The American Heart Association suggests that foods containing 140 milligrams of sodium per serving or less can generally be considered low sodium. Cooking with flavor instead of salt can also make a big difference. Lemon, garlic, onion, turmeric, rosemary. These ingredients add wonderful flavor without raising blood pressure. And staying well hydrated helps your kidneys flush excess sodium. The Mayo Clinic recommends discussing water intake with your doctor, especially if you have kidney concerns. And if you happen to have a blood pressure cuff at home, checking your numbers from time to time can help you and your doctor see how small dietary changes are working. One important thought before we finish today's goal was never to make you afraid of food. Food is one of life's genuine pleasures, and that should never change. The goal is simply awareness, because after 60, our bodies respond a little differently. They simply deserve a bit more care and attention. The encouraging part is that research from Harvard Health and the National Institutes of Health shows that reducing sodium and following a heart-healthy diet can lower systolic blood pressure by several points. That may sound small, but even modest reductions in blood pressure significantly lower the risk of a stroke, heart disease, and kidney problems. So whether you start by switching to a lower sodium soup, or making oatmeal instead of packaged cereal, or simply asking for sauce on the side at a restaurant, you are doing something genuinely good for your health, one small step at a time. And always remember to speak with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you take medication for blood pressure. Your doctor understands your full health picture. These suggestions are meant to support that relationship, not replace it. If this conversation was helpful and you enjoy these calm discussions about healthy aging, we invite you to subscribe to Healthy Living After 60. Each week, we share calm, practical, evidence-based guidance designed specifically for adults in their 60s and 70s. No exaggeration, no scare tactics, just clear information and small ideas that can help you stay healthy and independent. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us today. Take good care of yourself, and we will see you in the next video.